Hey guys, so today is going to be the best of beauty for 2018. So these aren't necessarily products that came out in 2018, they're just products that I loved in 2018, whether they came out this year or a few years ago or whatever. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first product I have is a skincare item. This is the Tatcha water cream. And this is like a very hydrating moisturizer, but it's more of a gel consistency. So I feel like you would still really like it if you have a oilier skin type. But it's just really hydrating and moisturizing and feels really nice. It doesn't break me out at all. So I really like this even just before makeup as a primer, I guess it would work. The next skincare item I have is this Badescu Hyaluronic Eye Cream. I got this a while ago and I've been using it every single day ever since. It's lasted me so long because you only need just a tiny bit. It's still more than halfway full just because you only need a tiny bit of this. But it's super moisturizing. I usually only apply it at night unless my eyes feel really dry. But it's just a really good eye cream. If your eyes are really dry, I feel like this is a really good eye cream to use for that. And then a mask that I really like is from the Body Shop. This is the Himalayan Charcoal Purifying Glow Mask. So this is pretty much like a dupe for the Glam Glow clay mask with the tea leaves and whatever in it. This has like the same thing. It smells like tea and it just feels really nice on your skin. It feels like it's really penetrating and getting deep down to get all the dirt out of your skin, and it's just really clarifying, it feels like. So I really like this mask and it's a lot cheaper than the Glam Glow one. Another mask that I really like is from The Ordinary. This is the peeling solution. So this has 30% AHA and 2% BHA. So this is like a resurfacing mask. You just leave it on for 10 minutes and it's like a mini facial, I guess. It just like exfoliates your skin chemically instead of physically like clay masks do. So a really good chemical exfoliant is this. And since my skin tends to get really dry, I tend to go in with this Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil after those kind of masks. This just gives me the plump back in my skin and the moisture. So I really like this just for applying right after masks. It's really nice. And then for the hands, I really like this O'Keeffe's Working Hands Hand Cream. I've mentioned this in I think 2 different favorites videos before. This is just like my favorite hand cream. I'm already almost out of this one. But I really hate the oily feeling that some hand creams give you. I hate that slippy oily feeling on my hands. So this cream is just really moisturizing, but it leaves your hands with like a matte feel to them, kind of. Not like drying at all, but it's just like no oily residue like other hand creams do. And my hands get really super dry during the winter time, so this has been really nice for them. Okay, next is this Laneige lip sleeping mask. So this is just like a little subtly pink lip balm. It smells like exactly like Pink Starburst, which I really like. But this is great not only overnight to moisturize your lips, but just anytime you're not really wearing makeup, or if you just want a subtle lip color. It just gives you a nice subtle pink tint to your lips, and it's really great during the winter when my lips get super dry, so I really love this. For primers, the first primer is this Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. So this is just like the moisturizer plus primer in one. This is super moisturizing. It's like a gel consistency, so you would definitely like this no matter what skin you have. So this is really good to go in with before foundation. It just makes it so your skin doesn't look any bit dry, and it just gives that extra bit of hydration before you pile on foundation, so I really like this. And then another primer is this Marc Jacobs Invisible Undercover Perfecting Coconut Face Primer. This is a really moisturizing primer as well, just like the Photo Finish Primerizer. This has like a gel consistency as well, but it's a little bit more oily feeling, I guess. Not in a bad way, but just a little bit oilier than the Primerizer. But I do really like this one as well for the same purpose. And then the last primer is this Tatcha Silk Canvas. This is a really, really good primer just for smoothing and for pore filling. I use this mostly around my nose and my cheek area just to fill in pores, and it just really smooths and blurs out those areas without making it dry looking like some other pore filling primers. So I really, really love this one. So for foundation this year, I feel like my favorites have been the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear. I don't know how to say that, but I really like this. It doesn't get cakey at all. It's a very thin foundation and it's not drying. It's like a satin finish. It's not too dewy, not matte, so it's just like a in between, and it feels really natural on the skin and it looks really natural. You can sheer this out and make it look like you're not even wearing makeup really with this. So I really like this for more natural days, but you can build it up, not to full coverage, but more to like a medium if you want that. So I really love this. Next is this Smashbox Studio Skin Hydrating Foundation. I really like this foundation. It is super hydrating. It's not like a super dewy finish, which I tend to like more. It's more of a satin, just like the other one. But I feel like this applies best with a sponge to give it a more hydrating finish, but I feel like this has really good coverage to it. So if you're looking for a higher coverage hydrating foundation, I feel like this one is really good. It definitely lasts all day and it looks really nice and smooth on the skin. It doesn't emphasize any dryness that I have, so I really like this one. And then lastly is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. So this is more of a dewy foundation. You get like a medium coverage from this. And I really, really like this foundation. I love dewy foundations, and this one is no exception. It looks really nice and beautiful on the skin. Just gives you that nice, fresh makeup look. So I really love this one as well. For concealer, first I have the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I use this as more of like a all over face concealer, not necessarily under the eyes. I feel like it's a little bit too dry for my under eyes, but I really like it just to cover up any redness or anything on the skin. This is very high coverage in that, and it looks really nice. It blends in with foundation really nice. It doesn't look dry or anything on the other parts of my skin, so I really like this one. And then for the under the eyes, I really like this Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer for under my eyes. It feels really nice and hydrating, which I really like because I have dry under eyes. And it does give you nice coverage. It's not a full coverage. I feel like it's more of a medium coverage concealer, but that's okay for me because I like to look human, not like a doll. So I feel like this gives me as much coverage as I need, and it does hydrate the under eyes. It doesn't make them look all dry and crepey looking like some other concealers. My favorite powder of this year has been the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. I have mine in the shade Fair, and this is just a really, really nice pressed powder. It gives you more of a sheer coverage, so it's more like a translucent setting powder more than anything. But this just blurs the under eyes so well and makes it look super smooth under there. So I really, really like this powder. A lot of powders emphasize the dryness under my eyes, like a lot of powders, and this one doesn't do that. It makes my under eyes look the best out of all of my powders, so I really love this one. And a brush I've been loving this year has been the It Cosmetics Love is the Foundation brush. They come out with these every October for breast cancer. So this is the one they released this year, and it's shaped like a heart. I really like this brush. It's really nice at blending in foundation without looking streaky. I usually don't use brushes because a lot of them make my foundation look really streaky, but this one does not. And they come out with them every October, so if you don't have one yet, I would definitely get the next one that comes out next October. And then a sponge I've really liked this year has been the Juno microfiber sponge. This doesn't soak up like any of your foundation really at all. It's really easy to clean because the foundation that it does grab just sits right on top of it. So I feel like it's a lot better at getting like a fuller coverage out of your foundation, and it's only like $6, so I really like this sponge. So a bronzer I really like this year has been the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Bali Sands. So here is the shade Bali Sands. This is the one I like for my skin tone the most. And it does have like a sheen to it. It's not a matte bronzer, but it's not like shimmer on your cheeks, you know? So I feel like this is more of like a natural kind of glow to your face. I really like this for that when I'm wearing like a really dewy foundation. So if you don't like kind of shimmery, glowy bronzers, I probably wouldn't recommend this one, but I think it looks really nice and natural on the skin without looking like a metallic powder. And then another bronzer I've been really loving this year has been the Jouer Bronze Duo. This is the light medium duo with the shades Sunlight and Suntan. So the shades are very similar. This one's more cool toned and this one's a little bit deeper and more warm. But I just mix the two most of the time and then blend them on my cheeks, and they're very blendable and very buildable. It's not just like a splotch of bronzer when you put it on your cheek. You can definitely build these up, and they're more sheer when you put them on at first. So I really like this. And then I really like the blush duo as well from Jouer. This is the Adore Blush Duo. So this has like the peachy pink shades. I really like this shade. It's more of like a warmer pink. And this one is like a very soft, warm pink. I don't really like the cool toned pinks too much, so I really like these shades, and they are just as blendable and buildable as the bronzer duo is. So for highlight this year, I've really loved the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. Obviously, I'm sure everybody has. But this is just such a beautiful highlighter. This is truly a highlighter for like every skin tone. I've seen it on every skin tone and it looks beautiful. It's magic, truly, and it's super blinding. And another highlighter I really like is this trio from Flower Beauty. This is truly like a bam highlight. These are super blinding on your cheeks. I like to mix and match them a lot, but these are definitely blinding highlights, and they are not super expensive. I wish they could just like chop this part off and get rid of this crummy brush just to give me a little smaller palette. But I do love this. And the last highlighter I have is from ColourPop. This is On the Cusp. This is the collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I feel like this is just such a beautiful highlighter. I really love ColourPop's highlighter formula. But this just truly looks like a wet sheen on your face. I'm wearing this one today, and I just love the look that this specific one gives me. It's not glittery at all. It's not shimmery. It's just like a straight sheen. It's so pretty. I love this highlighter. For brows, the only product I've really loved this year has been the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. So this is in the shade Haze. I really like this for my brows. I tend to match my brows to like my natural brow color, and it definitely gives you more volume and just nice color throughout your brows, whether you're pairing it with a brow pencil or not. I really like this. And for fixing mists, I really liked both of these from Catrice. The purple one is the Multi-Talent Fixing Spray, so this is just your basic fixing spray. I feel like this really melds all the products together and just sets everything down. And then this one is the Dewy Glow Fixing Spray, so this is definitely more if you want to have like a dewy skin day, or if you're wearing something a little bit too matte and you want a glow to it. I feel like this is really helpful in that, so I really love both of these. For eyeshadow palettes this year, I would have to say by far my favorite is going to be the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. I just love this palette so much. They have come back in stock with this once more since they said it was discontinued, but they said they're not bringing it back anymore, but let's hope they do, because I feel like this palette is just so super beautiful. This color scheme is just so pretty. I'm wearing this on my eyes today, and the greens in here are just so beautiful. It's really nice paired with like these warm browns, so you can get like a range of looks. If you want to go more natural, you stick to these 5. And then if you want to go more fun and colorful or grungy even, you can go with these greens. And this black shade is so beautiful. Let me show you. This is like super pigmented black. Like, yes. And then these greens are really pretty as well. And the shimmery green. The formula on these is just so super beautiful. I really love these. They do have some fallout, so if you were going to use this palette, I would definitely suggest using it before you do your foundation, because they are pretty fallout prone. I feel like that's the only con in this palette, but definitely the best palette of the year in my opinion. So I feel like the thing that makes this palette great is not only the color scheme, but Melt's formula. I feel like the matte formula from Melt Cosmetics is super great. They are very creamy and blendable and very pigmented. So I really love Melt's formula, and that just makes this whole palette even better. And then next for palettes is the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I feel like this was a really popular palette this year. It's definitely more of a neutral palette, but again, this is just pretty much for the everyday look if you wanted. So I feel like this could be appreciated by pretty much everybody. If you wanted to get some color, you could just pump it up with some of these shimmers, or just make it more dramatic with the darker colors. But I really love this palette. And here is the Sultry shade that they named the Sultry palette after, just because it's so super pretty. And obviously this palette was popular for a reason. It blends so beautifully. I love Anastasia's formula, and this is just a really great neutral palette. And then the last palette is the Alamar Cosmetics palette. This is the Reina del Caribe Volume 1 palette. I feel like this is a very nice palette. You have nice blendable matte shades. I really like the matte formula. And then these shimmer shades are just so super beautiful and creamy and blendable. Let me swatch some of them. I'm wearing this shade El Malicón in my inner corners right now. So here are all the shimmer shades. So this is La Costa. I feel like this is a very good highlighter shade, even if you didn't want to use it as a eyeshadow. This is El Malecon, the one that I'm wearing on my inner corners. This one is just so beautiful. It's like a greenish, cool tone gold. And then the two blues are very pretty as well. So I really like the oceany tones up in the shimmer shades. Then like the warmer landscapey tones in the mattes. So I feel like this is a very pretty palette to work with, and you can get a lot of really nice looks. So I really like that palette. For mascara, I would feel like everybody's favorite from this year was the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Mine is super scratched and beat up because I use it all the time. But I really love this mascara. It's definitely super volumizing and curling, and it stays all day, it doesn't flake. So I really love this mascara, and it's super cheap. And then my favorite eyeliner is definitely the Marc Jacobs Highliner in Earthquake. I feel like whenever I'm reaching for a brown liner, it's always this one. And I tend to use brown more than black just because I feel like it's a little more natural. But this is my favorite brown eyeliner ever. And these stay put all day. I really love the formula of these, really no matter what color, but the brown one is my favorite. For lips, we have a few products. First, my favorite lip liner is the Kylie Exposed lip liner. This is like a warm brownie nude. And then for liquid lipstick, one of my favorites was the YSL Tatouage Couture Matte Stain. This is in the shade 7, which I'm wearing. I really like this. They're very thin and it smells really nice. Candy or something. But they're very thin and they look like they would be sheer just because they are so thin and they glide so easily. But they're pretty opaque, all the shades that I've tried anyways, and I really like the unique applicator. It really makes it really easy to get a crisp line just when you're getting around your lip line. You can just really get around your Cupid's bow with this interesting applicator. I really like it. And these last a pretty good amount of time and they fade very gracefully, so I really like these. And then pretty much the longest lasting liquid lipstick I've ever tried is from Rimmel London, and this is their Provocalips. I have mine in the shade Kiss Me You Fool, and this is just like your classic red. So there it is right there. I'm probably never gonna get that off my hand now. Great. So you just apply that, and it is a very thin formula, but it is pretty opaque. So you apply this and you let it dry down as much as you can without pressing your lips together. And then you're supposed to apply the gloss over. And then once you do, I feel like this liquid lipstick does not come off. It is not super drying at all because you can apply the gloss if you want. I feel like you should initially apply the gloss because this alone is pretty sticky if you press your lips together. But once you have the gloss and it wears off a little bit, it's more of a true liquid lipstick. So this is the best, longest lasting liquid lipstick ever. And then for like a true lipstick, I have the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipsticks, and this is in the shade Meringue. I really like this shade. It's like a nudie pink, almost like the color I'm wearing. But these smell like pink lemonade pretty much, so I really like stuff that smells good. I don't know about you. But these are just super smooth and moisturizing on your lips, and they last a decent amount of time even though they are like a traditional lipstick, and they have a very wide range of colors. I recently got the full Zodiac collection from them, and I really like all those colors. There's definitely some pops of color in there as well as some true nudes. So I really like that formula. It's really great. And then for lip gloss this year, I feel like I've worn this pretty much the most of all of my lip glosses. This is the Buxom Full On Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Dolly. So this is a plumping lip gloss. I really like the plumping, tingly feeling of plumping lip glosses, so I tend to wear this pretty often and it looks really nice on my lips, so I really love this. And then the other lip gloss I've been wearing a ton is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, and this is in the original Fenty Glow shade. I'm wearing this over the liquid lipstick today, and it just gives you a nice sheen to your lips. It has like little micro shimmers in there, but they just make your lips look more plump, and it doesn't look like glitter on your lips or anything. I just really love this. It's really great and moisturizing and pretty. Lastly, we have a fragrance. This is the Escada Sorbetto Rosso, and this smells like watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Like exactly like watermelon Jolly Ranchers. And I love fragrances that smell like food. If I can smell like candy or cupcakes or vanilla, then I will do so. I just really love fragranted food smells for some reason. But I feel like this one lasts pretty nicely, and who doesn't want to smell like a watermelon Jolly Rancher? I do. So this is definitely my favorite fragrance of the year, even though I feel like it's more of like a summery fragrance just because it's watermelon-y. I will wear it all year long. It smells amazing and it's great. So there are all of my favorite best of beauty products for all of 2018. We will see what 2019 products have in store for us, or if these products are as good as it gets. Who knows? But let me know what some of your favorite products were in the year 2018, and I will see you in my next video.